What up, Satemangale, the Reverend of the Revolution. Welcome to your Daily Revolution. Today's topic, why it is so difficult to let go and forgive. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This morning, I had the chance to be in early morning seminary. What is seminary? Well, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I'm a Christian guy. I believe in Jesus, pray, worship, tithe, fast. Well, I may not always fast like we're supposed to, right? Because there are some Sundays where I'm like, man, I'm hungry. But that's beside the point. This morning, I went to seminary. It's where we have the youth of our church. They go to seminary. Right? They learn the word before they go to school. For most places, it's early morning. So 6 o'clock comes. I start teaching these seniors in high school. And we talked about forgiveness today. And we had this conversation about, well, Jesus was on the cross. Now, look, if you ain't a Christian, please don't get turned off. I just ask you to be open and just to listen. I get something from the podcast about forgiveness and letting go. Jesus is on the cross. He suffered in Gethsemane. He has also been scourged, and now he's being crucified with stakes and nail in his hands and wrists, and ouch. And as we're talking about this with the class, I'm talking to them about forgiveness. And Jesus said to them, Father, forgive these people, for they don't know what in the world they're doing. Something like that, right? That's my language. And, it's like one thing to read about it, and then it's another to actually have people do you wrong and not take care of you and rip you off or sue you and steal from you and talk trash about you. No, yes, nobody can hurt you unless they're hurting you physically. But, you get to choose. I get all that. And I know without a doubt why it is so hard for people to forgive. It's hard to let go. It is for a lot of people. I coach people for a living. Right? That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I'm on my phone, I'm on a video call, and I'm coaching. And I'm coaching people how to become more powerful, more certain, more skilled, so they can get rid of the things that are getting in the way of them getting what they want, so they can actually go do the work to get what they want. Really, really simple. But a lot of people, they won't let go of the past. I'm going to tell you a story about this. We'll come back to Jesus. We'll tie this into what this means for you. So there's this story that I heard when I was at a seminar 10 years ago. And my good friend Roberto Monaco he's talking about these monkeys. And the way to trap the monkeys would be they would get this box, and they would put like the rice in there, this sweet rice, or whatever the food was, and they would make a hole just big enough for a monkey to put its hand through there, fingers first. The monkey would grab the rice, and when grabbing something, it would cause a fist. And then it couldn't pull its hand through because the fist. The only thing a monkey had to do to be able to get its hand out of this box, of this cage, let go. Just let go. Let go of the rice so you can live. But here's the crazy piece. Monkey would never do it. Could chop their arm off. You could beat them. They would not let go of the rice. Why? I don't need to tell you why. It doesn't matter why. A lot of the pain that we have in our world today with people not living in prosperity is because you refuse to let go of the hate, the anger, the bitterness. You refuse. In my life, I had a gentleman sue me some time ago, cost us some money and time and some frustration and stress. And even when we had won, I was mad for a little bit. Like, I wanted to go down to this dude's home and beat him like a Cherokee drum, right? That's what The Rock says in one of his movies. I like the way that sounds. And I'm like, why don't I just let this go? Kind of like a monkey, I was unwilling to let it go for a while because I wanted to be mad. Look, let's just be really clear about this. If you are going to create a life where you have peace, where you're happy, where you're creating wealth and money, and you're creating results, like, you're going to have to get out of the past. You're going to have to let go of the past. And see, a lot of people today, what they try to do is And they just talk about things in order to feel better versus speaking powerfully things into existence. Letting go would mean that you literally let go. And if you're not holding on to anything with your hand, then you figuratively let it go. So how do you do that? You forgive. Forgiveness is not so much a matter for them as it is for you. I love it, right? I'm in the class today and we're talking about forgiveness and letting go. And one of the students raises their hands and she says, I heard a quote that said that forgiveness is not so much about them, it's about you so you can have peace. And I think about that in my own life today. Is there something that I'm unwilling to let go of and it's costing me peace, it's costing me money, it's costing me harmony, but I don't want to let it go? Now think about this in the physical domain. We would call it the big four. Physically, I've had to let go of some of my habits of just loving to eat sugar. I love me some sugar. I love me some carbs. I love feeling full. I love hot chocolate and donuts. Man, I sure love pizza. But if I'm going to move forward to getting down to 250 pounds, if I'm going to be a lean, mean running machine, muscular, healthy, I've got to let go of some of the beliefs around food, and I've got to let go of the donuts, period. Spiritually, are there things in your life today that you ought to let go of? Just forgive and forget and move on. I know some of the things on Instagram, I may forgive, but I'll never forget. I'm like, you just want to be broke and you just want to be miserable. Move on. If it's not serving you today, if it's not helping you today, why not just let it go? And, if spiritually speaking, if you need to let go of some things to get right with God again, let him go. Like the monkey, just open your hand and let it go. Let it go. In your marriage and relationships, one thing that I see that just destroys marriages is ego. It's pride. You're married to your spouse for 10, 15, 20 years. You know each other real well. Sometimes you get a little bored with each other and you let your ego get in the way. If it's not going to be a big deal in 5 years, then don't let it be a big deal in 5 minutes. Be humble and let your pride and your ego and your anger go. I'm shooting this on a new iPhone Max Pro 11. And we got the phones yesterday, and we were in a rush. So I walked out. I had to set it up on my own, and I was starting to get mad. I was kind of upset, irritated that it was taking me 3 hours versus 3 minutes because I couldn't figure it out. I was on the phone with Apple and I was getting frustrated. And my wife was like, dude, just relax. I'm like, don't tell me to relax. And she looked at me with these really? And she walked out. I was like, I'm sorry. I just had to say sorry. I had to let it go. Pride gets you nowhere. So if you got a grudge against your spouse, your children, and you're crying over spilled milk, or your child, deliberately disobeyed you, go clean it up and have a conversation and then let it go. Doesn't mean you have to continue to let it happen, but let it go. And of course, financially, is there something in your world right now that you need to let go of that's holding you back? A belief, a thought that you believe to be true, a story that you've held on to tightly for so long? The movement of the prosperity revolution is about prosperity. It is about living in prosperity. It is about living in a space where you are prosperous in every part of life. Yes, you have money, lots of it. Yes, your relationships, whether they're tough right now, but you're working towards a greater relationship, communication, honesty, and trust. Yes, spiritually, you feel connected, you feel grounded, you feel peace. And of course, physically, you're healthy. That's prosperity. So forgiveness and letting go. Don't be like the monkey who held on too tight, wouldn't let go, arm got cut off. Don't do that. And don't be like the person who holds on to a grudge and dies by the poison of anger and bitterness because they just wouldn't let go and forgive. Jesus forgave those who crucified him. I believe each one of us, we could forgive others. And most importantly, what I told my kids this morning in seminary, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. If you've made poor choices in the past, put your hammers of guilt and hammers of shame down, put them down. About the only hammer you should ever pick up is Thor's hammer. Just kidding. But put the hammers of guilt and shame down and move on. Forgive yourself. Go easy on yourself. Give yourself grace. Allow the grace of God, the grace of Christ to forgive you, and then move on. Let it go. Forgive others, forgive yourself, and look, we'll make an amazing day today. That's all I wanted to share today. Have an amazing day. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.